The Erika Kirk story keeps getting weirder. She is now getting caught once again with underage girls. And we think that this might be the real reason that she's likely under some sort of investigation. The pressure is mounting on her. It's reaching a boiling point. And former allies are speaking out. We know her chapters are rebelling. Even some of her closest supporters seem deeply uncomfortable with everything that's going on. And now there is a newly surfaced interaction that we're going to show you that is reigniting this criticism that has followed her for months. So every time it seems like the controversy around Erika Kirk has peaked, something new emerges. And when you put all of these events together, a picture starts to form that raises some really uncomfortable questions. And real quick, I'm Loren Piretra. Willa and I, we run this whole daily show, independent and network free, every single day out of pure principle and an absolute refusal to let people like Erika Kirk and Katie Miller get the last word. So consider every sub, every action, every hype, every step, little button you push to support this channel. Consider all of that actions that keep you safe from Stephen Miller, who might be emerging from the reflection pool at any time. He's a bottom feeder. He's down there feasting on algae right now, but he could be out at any second. So stay safe, subscribe. Let's work towards a timeline where that man is in a windowless cage. So this whole mess starts with the Women's Leadership Summit. We've talked about it in great detail here. She was selling tickets to young girls under the age of 13. And what are they doing with this event? They're pushing a narrative around getting pregnant, submitting to men. You don't want to vote. You don't want to have your own rights. You just want to be a vessel for birthing. And you just want to take on free labor and work for men in the house without payment. So they marketed this event heavily to young high schoolers and to young girls in middle school, even younger than that, which naturally pissed off a lot of people. And the situation really fell apart when Dana Lausch addressed some things. So Dana, massive right-wing radio host and former NRA spokesperson, she runs a grift. She plays defense for the grift. And she confirmed that Erika was supposed to not only host her damn event, but she was supposed to host the first panel. But immediately after Erika got called a PDF file on the opening ceremony, she dipped.
You know, she was very, very obviously upset, but she held it together on stage. She wasn't there for the whole weekend. She was scheduled to be there for the whole weekend, but who would want to endure that? Being targeted. She was targeted by Antifa, who I could not distinguish from the woke Reich at all.
Dana went on live TV a week after Parkland to defend guns, to defend the gun lobby. She sat through an hour of traumatized students and family and a county sheriff screaming in agony and sharing their pain. And she stayed on track and said, I hear you, but guns. She stayed and absorbed all of that to protect the dollar. So that's the type of person Dana is. And if Dana's going on TV and saying Erika Kirk dipped abruptly and early, we need to pay attention to that because this is important. So the pushback, we know with Turning Point USA has been going on for a minute. There's been a lot of drama. There's been a lot of chapters that are either ghost chapters, they're not real at all, or there's people who are packing up and leaving and saying, we don't want to be a part of this. That's happened a lot. We have a lot of stories on this too. University of Arkansas, that chapter got so sick of the drama and the Erika Kirk leadership that they voted to cut ties with Turning Point USA altogether. This created a chain reaction of total panic at Turning Point USA headquarters. So Erika Kirk threw together an emergency Zoom call with chapter presidents on April 7th to stop the bleeding. She was deeply defensive from what we've heard on this call, and chapter leaders were beat down and over it. They don't like this new direction. They do not like Turning Point 2.0 under Erika Kirk, and they believe that they've been abandoned by any real grassroots organizing. So now Erika jumps on this call. We don't have a full record of it. If you do, get in touch. We have these screenshots, and you could see in her eyes that she is grifting her little heart out. And then listen, like birds of a feather, am I right? Erika Kirk being accused of being a pedophile and also being chummy with Donnie Zump. There's this video here.
Tell Erika that.
Yeah.
Erika is very shrewd. She's very smart. There's a great story. I can't really tell you who this was, but It was a very important person. And it happened within hours of the news. And the call goes in. She takes it because it was a very important person. And the question was to her, okay, so just as a starting point, like, what do you know? And she was like, I know everything. And I was like, that's amazing.
So Donald called Erika immediately after what? Why does everyone believe that this was a conversation between Donald and Erika? What's going on here? I want to hear from you in the comments on that one, okay? That's on you. What is the MAGA establishment doing? Why are they circling the wagon for Erika? To preserve their pipeline to young voters? They don't like her. They do not care about the optics. So you have to wonder why powerful politicians who protect predators and are predators are also bending over backwards to defend Erika Kirk right now. Makes a lot more sense when you look at these aggressive financial moves that she made before the dust even settled. When I first started this podcast, I remember sitting there thinking, what if nobody listens? Seriously, you put so much time and energy into building something, and there's always that little voice in your head wondering if it's ever going to work out. But taking that leap ended up being one of the best decisions I've ever made. And if you're starting a business or launching something online, having the right tools behind you can make such a huge difference. That's why Shopify is such a game changer. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the US. From huge brands to brand new entrepreneurs just getting started, they give you hundreds of customizable templates so your online store can actually look clean and professional. And Shopify handles everything in one place: inventory, payments, analytics, shippings, returns, all of it. Plus, if you ever get stuck, their award-winning 24/7 customer support is always there to help. It's time to turn those what ifs into with Shopify today. Sign up for your $1 per month trial today at shopify.com/Loren. Go to shopify.com/Loren. I'll link it in the description and in the comments too. So Erika Kirk has been involved in some sleazy trademarking filing. So allegedly on October 3rd, there are signatures here, October 3rd, 2025, 23 days after Charlie died, making trademark deals for his name and signature. So she could sell more t-shirts with her dead husband's name and face on it and Bible verses. The online store, we know Turning Point USA started selling hats immediately. They ran into some legal issues with Calvin Klein. Shout out to Calvin Klein for owning that trademark. But Erika Kirk was like, whatever, we're just going to keep prioritizing branding rights and sales over any sort of real organizing. So there was hats with stolen logos sold, anything to make a quick buck off of the death of her husband. And Erika also gave really emotional speeches to calm the donors after all of this went down. She promised to release unheard recordings from foreign tours to continue the mission.
We have speeches that no one's heard of. We have interviews that no one's heard of. We have stuff from Korea and Japan that no one's heard of.
Podcasts.
So, I mean, in the words of my husband, buckle up, because there is a lot of content to be had. And we have so many amazing things down the pipeline that we are working on currently.
So all these ambitious projects never materialized. The organization, we never saw this footage for something she was so excited about, which she said repeatedly, which is like kind of not the vibe. She ended up just selling merch anyway and wiping his presence from Spotify and other platforms. So donors started to realize empty promises, and somehow she found a way to keep the dues flowing. So the grifting and the empty promises are pretty standard for the right, but we also need to talk about the deeper problem people have been trying to flag for us for a while now. We need to look at the behavior around her and minors. Instead of just focusing on her financial corruption, there have been people who have been monitoring her public interactions with teenagers. They had concerns which started during her time with the Romanian Angels charity, and they continued with her youth ministry work. We also know that the Catholic Church has really got a reputation for behaving badly, for being predators with young people. Then this new clip from their Las Vegas headquarters grand opening exposes this behavior and footage involving two high school students from Club America, their program. They were waiting by a food truck when an assistant introduced them to Erika. Is it not giving Ghislaine Maxwell? The girls go on to talk about Erika grabbing them, pulling them into an intense, prolonged embrace, signing their t-shirts, hugging them so tightly that they began to shake and cry.
He was like, Erika, like, they want to take a photo with you. So he was like, this is Danica and Kylie. Immediately, we just like look at each other and she just grabs me and gives me, I was so shocked that like I had one arm wrapped around, she had both arms wrapped around me so tight. And my whole body is shaking. She's grasping me so hard because my whole body is shaking. Wait, no. Before we even took the picture, she's like, I love your shirts. They're so cute.
Erika made some weird comments about their appearance during this. One girl called her mother in total distress immediately after the interaction. It just feels highly alarming for somebody facing ongoing criminal allegations. Really rich history of that, with now her personal assistant is the daughter of close associate Tracy, and people have questioned that relationship for years, and now they're bringing these children into the mix. Normal executives do not subject random teenagers to aggressive physical conduct. I can tell you that as a former executive of many years, longer than Erika. That is not normal. This clip confirms why many people believe she is a legitimate danger to kids in her program. Adults hold authority, they hold influence over young people, which could make it difficult for a young person to recognize inappropriate behavior. Parents need to be more involved here. Parents cannot be letting their kids go to these Erika Kirk grift festivals and meet her and be around these other predatory adults without supervision. We know she's been going to schools. We know she's been doing the most. So we need safeguard practices in place to protect. We need clear boundaries. Parents need to be involved to help prevent misunderstandings and to protect the young people from the adults working with them. Full stop. Erika Kirk, you are no exception to that. I want to know what you guys think. If you're parents, I especially want to know what you think. If you are a young person, I especially want to know what you think. If you're a Turning Point USA fanboy or girl, I want to know what you think. Let us know in the comments. We know that the July 6th pretrial is coming up. We are going to continue covering every detail of that and every new detail that emerges around this very interesting scenario. So if you want to know more, hit subscribe. Find us wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeart. We're everywhere. We're I am Loren P across all socials except for Twitter. There's an imposter. Loren Piretra there. And we'll be back with more.